Hi, and welcome again to 100 Things Men Can Do Now. And as I promised, we tried to fix this table and talk about creative ways and things men can do now to reduce friction and have their mates be happy during these trying times. I took off the little side wings here because it was bothering my girl. She couldn't put her legs in there and I couldn't either. So now we have a table that we can access, and we took a couple of little angles and dusted them off and sanded the rust off and painted them red for a little kitchen accent, and made a couple of shelves to clear off our eating surface. So as a bonus, it came with these wing things that held up the angles, and I'm going to put these in the garage with a dowel rod in between to hold some paper towels. So out of one table that wasn't working, we got two shelves and a towel holder, so a bonus. But this is just a call to men for how to reduce friction in this time of being confined and stress in the world. There's lots of stress out there, and we want to reduce the stress in our personal world and the world around us as much as we can. So calling for submissions of ways you can work to reduce friction in the world.
Hey gang, I'm back with another of the 100 Things Men Can Do Now. This latest suggestion was submitted by a renowned source. You've all heard his name. He's the famous Greek philosopher Anonymous, from whom we have so much to thank. It's a suggestion born of the magician archetype, with the goal of reducing friction between those people living together, all cooped up in their social isolation. It's a suggestion that could take many forms. Here's one. Imagine a couple normally quite fond of each other until they are forced by circumstances to share a desk. The solution? Create two desks and two shelves. This the magician Anonymous did with but 3 pieces of wood. Moreover, he placed the desks on opposite sides of the room, allowing our couple to work without bumping elbows. There are many cooped-up couples, and this is but one course of action the creative man might devise to reduce friction.
I recently moved to a new home in Northern California. I started a project that I didn't know that I wanted to, but here it is. Here is the entrance to a sacred circle of 16 redwood trees that I've planted. 60-foot diameter circle. Oh yeah, there's the hammock. The trees are 6 or 7 feet tall now. In about 15 years, they'll be 30 feet tall. I could live to see that. I won't be living to see them get to be 50 feet tall, 100 feet tall. Because that'll be past my time, but do.
The wind got to Jim out there in Northern California. He created this sacred circle of standing trees, which he calls his standing people. His redwoods are part of his sacred circle, where he will invite people in, warrior brothers, to further his mission, to create an enlightened world and share and radiate love. Thank you, Jim, for this contribution.
Hey gang, here's another installment of 100 Things Men Can Do Now. This one comes from a fellow warrior and Path to Spirit brother, Bob Copeland. Bob suggests that now's the time to read some fiction. Go deep into a fine novel. Says Bob, I, like many men, get caught up either in how-to reading or news or some other non-fiction, But now more than ever, I need to learn how to create separate space for myself away from my work. A great piece of fiction truly does the trick. To take a step further, adds Bob, I joined a book club, which is the source of the books I'm reading now. Discussing a book deepens my understanding, and I may even meet some new neighbors. Bob concludes, my current mission is to acknowledge the worthiness and the contribution of others through personal connection. Reading fiction feeds a spirit of openness and creativity, which enables me to see others in their best light. So whether it's a current bestseller or an old classic, now is the time to immerse yourself into some great storytelling. I'm Tim Goldich, Gorilla for Real. Thanks for watching.
Send your submission to 100 Things Men Can Do at gmail.com. If you do a video, just load it up and we'll get it that way. So we'd love to hear from you.